What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Monday Scale News Update. If you're new to the show, we talk mostly about the news topics over the last week that had to do with the scale RC market, but we talk about some topics that reach a little bit outside of there as well. Let's go ahead and jump right into this week's topics. This week, Traxxas released the info to buy separately that new Bronco body set that is included in the new Bronco Ready to Run. Now, the surprising part about that was the retail cost, and it's listed at $160. Now, that looks like it's the body as well as some bumpers and maybe a couple of other pieces. Either way, it's a lot of money for the body, but it does look like they're selling for that on eBay right now, so it doesn't seem to be out of line at all. And honestly, I can see myself paying that because if I owned the Tactical or the Defender, I definitely want to remove those bodies right away. But in reality, I can see why the cost is there. There's a lot of detail, a lot of hard molded plastic, and it's a big body. So if you're looking for more details or the item number, look in the description below. We touched a little bit last week about the situation with Hobbico being up for auction and Horizon announcing that they did put a bid in for it. And at this time, it looks like Horizon was the only bidder on that part of the business. That included Great Plains, Tower Hobbies, Axial, and Arma, as well as several other smaller parts of the business itself. It sounds like it most likely is going to go through, but there has been one contention filed already, so we'll see the final ruling on that this week and find out where the people from Hobbico are going to be working soon. Speaking of Hobbico, I actually had seen a new selfie drone from them this week, and I'm not interested in selfie drones really at all. This was a little pocket-sized one called the See-Me. Wasn't that interesting, but it reminded me that Hobbico had also released basically something just like this around Christmas, and it was called the Flit. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw that or can really believe that anyone agreed to that name. But I wanted to pose this for the question of the week, and that is, have you ever heard of a worse product name than the Flit? Bonus points if it's RC related. In this coming week, we've got a brand new release from Vanquish, and that is the new Currie F9 portal axle set. Now, these are based off of the SCX-10-2 geometry. So if you've got an SCX-10-2, these are going to be able to go right underneath of it. But it also supports the F9 servo on axle mount if you want to use it in a custom project. Now, I've been working with these axles for a little while, and I put them underneath of a custom project of my own and did a little bit of running with them this week. Now, these axles do have gear reduction in the portal box, and it's also adjustable. So there's going to be optional gear sets for those portal boxes to achieve an underdrive type situation. If you're not familiar with underdrive, it allows you to spin the front tires a little bit faster than the rear tires, which helps you in climbing and turning. Now, these axles come complete all the way from the gear sets in the portals to the gear set in the center of the axle, all the axle shafts, the hexes, lock nuts, everything you need to basically bolt these under any SCX-10-2, or depending on your custom project, be able to throw it under there as well. As mentioned, these do support a chassis mounted servo or an axle mounted servo with the optional mount. These are not an add-on part for an existing axle. This is an entire axle assembly itself. The front axle has the front C-hub built in to support the new portal box style knuckle that is included, and in the rear axle, the portal boxes are built into the axle housing itself. Now, there'll be all kinds of information available for these very soon. The release is coming this week. Check the description below. There will be links to those axles as soon as they're live on the website. One down note for the week is LRP is announcing that they are closing, but they also announced that they're going to be reopening under basically a new name on April 3rd. So, I don't know if any of you are familiar with LRP. I used LRP in one of my very first scratch-built crawlers way back in like 2004. It was a little LRP runner ESC, I believe. I don't know much about LRP personally, but it just always sucks to see an RC company have to go under. However, it does look like they have some sort of new plan with this new company popping up. We'll see what comes from them in the future. We'll just keep an eye on that situation. There is a link to their new website I've seen active, and I'll put that in the description below as well. Now, before the last couple of Scale News updates, I've actually made a post over on my social media pages just asking about questions to talk about on this video itself. Now, last week there was a post that actually was made after I had already filmed, but I thought it was a really interesting question and probably one that a lot of people would have a lot of ideas and opinions on as well. The question was posted by DDM Racing, and the exact wording to his question was, what is one thing not yet tackled by the aftermarket that should have been addressed by now? And I thought this was a really kind of an interesting or thinker type question. You try and think about something like that, and it seems like so much has been done by now. And I just thought that this was a really interesting question because once I started looking at my trucks and looking at what's on the market, I tried to start thinking, and so much has already been addressed by now. And I am only looking at, the scale off-road type market. And I was kind of having a hard time coming up with it. The best thing that I could come up with was more intelligent light controllers. I dabbled like a little bit into FPV quads and just playing around with how amazing the flight controllers are in those quads and what you can do with them to program these light controllers off of your radio and be able to change colors and patterns and strobes and how you can turn them on or off. And it's just, if we could adapt that technology into our surface-based scale crawlers, how much more we could get out of our cars with the lighting and things like that. It seems like it could go so much further because right now there's not really any sort of real intelligent light controllers. Yeah, there's ones that, the brakes come on or a blinker activates when you turn, but nobody uses blinkers on the trail. And, tail lights is one thing, I get that one. But in general, I don't know that is really what I'm thinking when I think of intelligent light controllers. I don't know where the roadblock is in technology with trying to apply some of that into our surface-based models. I don't know if it's because of the differences in radio type technology that we're using, or if it's just not something that has been in demand yet. But I do think that we'll continue to see more and more technology increase in the actual electronic side of what we're using. I just think there's a lot of room for that to grow in the scale community, especially with how much faster this segment is growing than a lot of other segments of RC. But if you can think of a better suggestion than that, drop it in the comments below and we'll all get to discussing. And that'll do it for this week, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already. I hope you have an awesome week, and we'll see you on the next one.